okay, and our elder gods. So what we want to start doing now, because once I began to raise it up in consciousness, look at some of those gods whose names I was calling out. Some of them is the daughter broth, the demiurge. Have you ever talking about? Okay, it's a whole nother lecture. But many of you have heard the saying that the black man's God is the white man's devil. White man's God is black man's devil. To put it briefly, there are two creations. There's a divine creation, then there's a counterfeit creation. We existed in the counterfeit creation. And within this counterfeit creation is two beings here. True beings, original people, and counterfeit beings. This so-called false God, this thing that's trying to perpetrate itself off as God, as the one true source, is a rabid energy source that went crazy. And now they're trying to correct it. That's what the resurrection of Christ is talking about. In essence, you have to understand that in the cosmos, it's many beings out there who don't have bodies. What's that now? You understand what I'm talking about? There's pure consciousness. Some of those consciousness sought to take control over a certain region of space. And when they did that, this certain consciousness also go by the name of Lucifer, the devil, okay, the daughter broth, the demiurge, the false god. So in essence, what it did was it sealed up, put up an energy barrier in a certain region of space to keep the higher vibrations of light from this part of space. And a cosmic war ensued. Michael, Lucifer, Sirius versus the Orions. It's all the same conflict. People still with me when I talk about this conflict, this war between good and evil in the cosmos. It was a war between what the Creator had created, and then what one of its creations came down and created. The Creator was like, nah, we ain't having that. But because the Creator is subject to its own laws, it can't just come in and go beyond the laws of the universe and take over. What it has to do is using time, revert, or should I say correct creation. Creation is supposed to be peaceful, not supposed to be all this. If God was so great, then why is all this suffering down here? That's what they're calling God. That's a negative connotation. It ain't nothing but the Creator. We should be saying the Creator instead of God, because when you say God, you've limited the whole spectrum of consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So let's now tonight what we're going to do is so much information. What we're bringing forth is what I like to call mental mastership. And in mental mastership, it's many different aspects of mental mastership, but what I focus on, what my vector of light is in self-healing. Okay? Now in self-healing, in essence, what we're talking about, physical and spiritual. Black folks in dire need of some spiritual healing right about now. We ain't gonna get into the physical healing that we need, but the spiritual healing, they got our souls and our spirits on lockdown. They got our minds, your consciousness is on lockdown. You still with me? Does everybody understand how our consciousness is on lockdown? Where does everybody get all the information from? TV, book, a newspaper, magazine, radio. Okay? All that's controlled. You know what they can't control? Those high vibrations coming from the cosmic energy grid. Light is information. The more you open yourself up, the more light you absorb, the more information you understand, and you osmose. Okay? Now, what we want to get across is that what I'm teaching you in the classes, like I say, we're going to hit on the chakras and the crystals and the magnets very brief tonight, because each one of them themselves is a lecture. Okay? Each one is a lecture. So when we talk about the class in the classes, we go into very much detail in each one and show you how to give you practical application where you could be using every day. You spiritual beings. You're supposed to be doing something spiritual, what? 24/7. Right? And anytime you're not spiritual. When you're not spiritual, you what? You age, disease, and die. Okay? So one thing I want you to also understand is, I'm going to say this, and you're going to hear other people say this, this physical body, I don't know what you believe, but once you understand the Christ science and the science of your body, you understand this is not meant to die. It was not meant to die. It only died because what? Our consciousness lowered. So if you vibrating less, consciousness is vibrations, the less you vibrate, what? The less you exist. Okay? So what we're talking about is immortal. Like I had this discussion with this individual the other day, and they were saying to me, we're talking about the ascension, and he was still debating whether he was going to sin. He knew he was going to sin, but he wasn't sure if he was going to sin in the physical or in the spirit. I said, what? What? Ain't no doubt about it. This physical flesh, as far as I'm concerned, me. You can ride my coattail if you want to, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Well, now, let me take that back. You're not supposed to be riding my coattail. We're supposed to be pulling the coattail together. All right? Because you got to understand, first, I am a student. Second, a teacher of the mysteries. So I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. Okay? All of you out there know more than me. Okay? But in what I talk about, I know more than you. Understand that? You know more than me, collectively. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of what we're talking about here tonight, I know more than you. So let's move on. So now check. Now we want to get across, like it's very key what Brian was bringing out tonight, holistic healing. Holistic healing is what I like to divide into is three aspects of holistic healing: spirit, mind, and body. And when I say body, that equates to diet. When I talk about mind, we're talking about using instruments of light. When I say instruments of light, I'm talking about crystals, magnets, gemstones, the sun, the moon. You can use all those to open you up. For those who you take the class, you should, after you finish taking the class, you'll be able to go outside and look directly into the sun, and you'll be like, ah, just your whole internal vibration, your whole consciousness is going to be like, whoa, am I still here? I feel like I done left the planet. Okay? What's happened is your brain valve, your rusty brain valve, is on lockdown. That's why you use less than 10% of your brain. Once you learn how to open up this brain valve, which the third eye is the first, is the front part of, all right? And it goes through the middle of your brain, through the what? Pituitary, pineal, and hypothalamus glands, as well as when it becomes fully open, then we ignite the optical thalamus gland. And what happens is the back of your head starts to begin to, you get this pressure built up in the back of your head, which I had never heard the term till a sister told me yesterday. And I spent the last 2 or 3 years developing this. Like, just like you brothers go lift weights. Well, I've been, my brain. All right? Dr. Brock refers to this area back here as the Aladdin's lamp. The Aladdin's lamp, like, oh. Because see, now I have spent the last year and a half developing the hippocampus portion of my brain. Okay? Now, the hippocampus sits in the cerebellum back there, or cerebrum, excuse me. Now, you got to understand, and the reason I had started doing it is because I had read some of Malachi Z. York stuff, and he started talking about the barytheric gland, and it was connected to the hippocampus, tonsils, and appendix nerves, and that this gland, which was behind the pineal gland, so he says, activates our 4 higher senses: intuition, telekinesis, telepathy. Did I say intuition? Telekinesis, telepathy, and psychometry. Psychometry meaning that's your pen. You give it to me, and I can be like, I know this about you, just from touching your pen. All right. You're supposed to be able to, and it allows you to open up to higher vibrations. So I can sense your vibrations and know more about you because those vibrations are light, and light is what? Information. It's energy also, but it's information. So by grabbing your pens, feeling your vibrations, I can get information on you. All right? That's why Geechee say don't let nobody touch their hair. After you heard about that, Geechee say when they get their hair cut, that's my hair. Because you could take their hair and work a mojo on them. They know that. Okay, so now let's go into the chakras briefly. We have to understand that in terms of, let's look at in the universe, in the earth, and in our body, the Creator installed this balancing mechanism to keep things, not too much light, not too much dark. Balance. Okay, the yin and yang, whatever. So in essence, what this is a regulating system. It's a regulator. This regulator is supposed to maintain the systems to make sure that they try to stay as close as when they came in the condition they came when they came from the Creator. Okay? But what has happened is our regulating, this is why we're dying and sick and disease. Our regulating mechanism is shut down consciously. Consciously. Meaning, like check. Children. All right? Until puberty. Till you get to 12. Your energy centers are open. That's why kids got visible friends. They're talking to spirits. They seeing things. And if any of you have been around infants and toddlers, you can sit there and look at them. They'll be looking off in space like something's really grooving them. And they be seeing stuff that they can't relate to us. Okay, so our society teaches us that they're not there. That's spiritual. Lock it out. They don't exist. That's spirit. It don't exist. Lock it out. Your mind's on lockdown. Okay? So, in essence, your chakras, which you have 7 major chakras, but not, now, that's another thing. We go into that, into the classes. But just overall, you have 7 major chakras, all right? So-called 22 minor chakras, and depending upon what text you read, some say like 72,000. Some say, I've read one that said 350,000 chakras. Okay? The chakra is an organ of transmutation, meaning it takes energy and transmutes it. This is a four-way process of transmutation. Excuse me, up and down, in and out. Okay? 4 directions of transmutation of energy. So, in essence, your higher bodies collect the cosmic energy or vital energy, universal energy force, whatever you want to call it, chi, ki, juice, and going through your subtle bodies, which you have 7 bodies, directed down to your physical body via the chakras, and at the same time, your spiritual body needs information that's down here in the physical realm, which you transmute like this, in and out, just information all around you in your physical environment that's osmosed up to the higher bodies. Okay, so it's energy's going like this all the time, and we're going to show you something later on, but you'll see we are magnetic beings. All right, we're magnetic creatures. We pass energy back and forth every day just looking at each other. All right? With our thoughts, how we thinking about each other. Okay? You could do serious damage by just thinking ill will against yourself or somebody. All right? But most of us, our ill will is coming because what? We thinking negative about self. Okay? So when you clean up your house, then it can rise. When I say clean up your house, I'm talking about all emotional junk locked away we choose not to deal with because it's easier. And one thing you'll find out is that a lot of the diseases that come about is because of these issues, which is energy, gets locked up in your muscle groups. And what happens, those muscle groups end up getting what? Tension. And the whole thing with the energy, reflexology, the aromatherapy, is to relax you. Energy relaxes you. Like what we're going to do in a few is I'm going to do a brief, not a full chakra alignment, but a brief chakra alignment so you can see what a chakra alignment is. My style chakra alignment is because many people out there doing chakra alignments. But I think what I have to offer is more complete than what I have seen. That's just my own opinion, though. Okay? But we have to understand that the energy, and it's very key to the self-healing process, to relax. Relax. Because once you learn how to relax, you can start to begin to sense your body, and you'll be able to feel the tension. Right here, ooh, I feel that tension, you be feeling yourself all like, it's because tension got you locked, pull here and pull here. And you have to use the energy, the holistic sciences to help with the relaxation, because still the mind, still the body, and it will heal itself. You don't need no drugs. Spirit wills mind, mind wills body. All right? Relax the mind, relax the body, and your natural self-healing mechanisms will do their own thing. A lot of times, this process has already begun, and you know what you end up doing? Go running to the doctor, and he stops that natural healing process. Okay? He gives you some drug to knock your system out of whack. All right? Do you know, it's funny now they came out and they saying it on TV now, how when they do these advertisements for these drugs, they have to tell you about the what? Side effects. What is the side effect? What is that telling you? Do you understand what a side effect is? If you really sat and thought about what a side effect is, I don't think you take the drugs. All right? Now let's look at a side effect and see what they're doing. First of all, you have to understand that or I should say mainstream approach has taken the God factor. I'm talking about mainstream approach. I'm talking about all the dadgum sciences, from geology, archaeology to medicine, have taken out the God factor. So when you're trying to heal somebody who got some disease, and you're not working with the God factor, automatically your foundation is flawed. Okay? Then, since because they're not using the God factor, they don't really understand how the body works. They're starting to admit this to you now, right there on TV. We don't know. Say there's those antibiotics. He said, if those antibiotics don't work, I don't know. Look, I'll do for you. How about medicine is that? All right? You can just better off walking across the street and hope you don't get hit by a car. Better than walking in them hospitals. But now let me say this. Now mainstream medicine is not all that bad because they got a lot of technical know-how in terms of diagnosing stuff with these machines and stuff like that. See, they even starting to use the magnetism, MRI, EKG, all that stuff. What do you think this putting out on there? Vibrations. They can look at your brain and tell you what part is going wrong, and that's why you got, well, they don't know why, but they know what part of your brain is going wrong with the Parkinson's disease or this disease or that disease. But they still ain't figured out how to fix it. But I know. I know. I promise you. It's simple. It's so damn simple, they won't listen. And it's magnetism. We're magnetic creatures. Magnetic creatures. Okay? Neurons work based upon what? Magnetism. Neurons process thought energy coming and going. Neurons jump across what's called a synapses, a space, via what? Magnetism. Because of magnetism. When neurons stop firing, what's that mean? The magnetism means weak. It's off. Simple. Very simple. If you want to heat it, what you got to do? Add some damn energy. All right? Simple as that. It take no rocket scientist to figure this out once you understand the basic workings of the universe. You say it's easy how somebody can just lay their hands and boom, and feel better. Why you do that? Okay? So we have to understand that when these side effects, when I was getting back to the side effects, what's happening is the body works on subtle processes, very subtle processes. So in essence, if you read in homeopathic medicine, they tell you that the lesser of whatever you're going to try to use is the more powerful it is. But what they do in the doctor's office, give you more. Super saturate. So what happens is since the stuff that they give you might work, if they would just lower the dadgum dosage, because that's just too much, all that extra it ends up running through your body, knocking all your other stuff out of whack. That out of whack is what we call what? Side effects. Okay? So once you understand, like I say, I'm telling you, once you understand how your body works, you understand how the universe works, it's so simple. It's a crime of the damn shame. We forgot it. Okay? So now you have to understand. So when we talk about the chakras are very key. You dwell in your chakras daily and are not even conscious of it. Like me, I feel my chakras 24/7, all the time. Okay? That's how we're supposed to be. You spiritual beings. You must. But there's a lot of us out here now who are searching for something, but we don't know what. We feel like we're supposed to be doing something, but we don't know what. All right? We're all getting this feeling right about now. Some of us have been getting it for the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's like, damn, I'm supposed to be doing something. You know? And then at the same time, seeing the plight of my people, I hate to think about it sometimes because every time I do, I cry. It's so painful. Just to see the sickness, this mental sickness, you know. So that's why you must dwell into your chakras. It's very key. You must dwell into your chakras. Anybody talking about mastering what's going on with them in the physical realm, if you ain't using your chakras, you don't have a clue. Okay? The more you are conscious of your chakras, the more power you have on the physical plane. In essence, black people, being the most spiritual people on the planet, can I get an amen? All right. Being the most spiritual people on the planet have been out here trying to get over in this physical world, not using their spiritual essence. The energy, which is all encompassing, once you start to grab the energy, and that's when I say energy, you got to realize I'm talking about your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. It's yours, but they got it. It's yours, but they got it. Once you grab it, man. Now, when they say do not walk the path that they laid, well, I deviated from that path, and everybody around me thought, oh my God, he's in a cult, and he's just, you know, all right. But you know, 3-4 years ago, when I was telling people about magnets, and they was laughing at me, the same people now, like, damn, you know, I knew you before you was Brother Kam Kam. You know what I'm saying? They hear it on the news. They're like, damn, that brother, you know. And my mom was like, oh, my son the prophet. I said, no, ain't no prophet. Yeah, because if I'm a prophet, all of y'all prophets. All right? Okay? So the chakras I just gave you an example of showing you. Once I went to my chakras and took my mind back and grabbed my spiritual energy, I could sit there and throw my mechanical engineering degree out the window. Hard as I work for that sucker. All right? That's what I'm talking about. When you can that's how I'm able to now live with less money. I mean, it's like a drip out of the faucet now, whereas it used to be wide open. But you want to know something? I'm happy. You know, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And the more y'all get fired up on the chakras, the more at peace I'm going to be and we're going to be. Okay? So, all right, now check. Now the magnets, it's another thing that we must get into when we talk about how the reflexology allows you to relax and put your body in a state of relaxation. What I've learned is that the more, okay, so like when you start hitting those, like say if you start hitting those points on your foot and the energy goes up, and in essence what's happening is the energy is going and vitalizing the organ, and the pressure is built up in the organ. When the pressure builds up, you can say pressure builds up, the vibration increases. All right? All the toxins vibrate low. They can't exist in a high vibrating environment. Okay? That's why you're so full of toxins, because you're vibrating low. Once you start vibrating high, all that stuff goes out. So now, what I've learned is that the magnets is very key in when we're talking about preventative. The magnets are key. One of the reasons I had got into the magnets stuff is just seeing what my father went through with leukemia and shriveling down to a vegetable. And you know, at that point in time, I was like, because he passed away in '92. And then soon after that, I became conscious and came with this information. It was like, damn! How come I couldn't get this knowledge a year earlier? All right? But he had to go for me to get this. And that made a profound impact upon me. That I will never, ever let myself be put in a situation like that where I got to depend upon them for life. Laid up in the hospital bed, depending on them to save your behind. Because they can't save your behind. They don't want to save your behind. You can go find many books out there now that's talking about the medical mafia. That's one good book talking about how they're telling you how it's unwritten codes in the medical profession that these people don't get the same treatment as these people. The Hippocratic Oath, my behind. All right? Hypocritical oath. So what happened, you know, after seeing what happened to my father, that's when I gravitated, because I always been searching for truth. And man, when I got a hold of the magnets, like I say, I heard Deborah Blair say it on the tape. And bam, because I was making good money, I went out and got me some Sirius magnets. And it's talking about feeling the energy all the time, getting you to where you relaxed. Not only doing a reflexology or doing a chakra alignment, that stuff will so relax you to put you out. But you want to be out like that all the time. Be walking around here like this. You know, like literally, you're floating, man. You know, don't nothing worry you, nothing to get to you. Stress, what is it? You know, hell, I made $10 in a week. Stress, what is it? You know what I'm saying? All right, so magnets, and let me show you some magnetic products here. Let me just get back here for a second. Because when we talk about the magnets are key in terms of healing yourself physically. People, man, I've seen, you know, like I said, I've been working with the magnets now about three and a half years. And just from what I've seen, you say, hey, man, you know, because I've been buying them, giving them relatives, and, you know, try this. You know, because I read in a book, they say the book, you know, I wear them just to increase my vibration. They say they're healed too. Man, I've been seeing my uncle used to have back pain from an accident he had for 25 years, and every Christmas I should see him. You know, I seen him, we used to live with him, I seen him when his back went out. So I've seen it all my life with my uncle. Hooked him up with some boom, 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 magnets, things and stuff. He was like, man, all the pain gone. Don't have no more pain after for 25 years. All right, so now, this right here is very key. Now check this out. Let me see if I can find. No, I don't know. I don't have one that's open. Check these magnetic insoles. All right. Now check, because I want you to see this. Because see, now you know on your feet, you have main meridian points. Okay, like right in this area, right on the sides, right in here, and right in here. These are main meridian areas. How they got their magnets? Magnets hitting them areas. These insoles, we got the these types. Let me take it out so you can see it. Because and we're talking about those of you who want to talk about some spiritual development, where you feel your energy all the time, where you can feel your pineal gland ringing all the time, walk around feeling that melatonin sucking through your brain, and you're like, woo, all the time. Now see, these are called pressure points, magnet pressure points. Okay, so these are a position to hit these main meridian points on your feet. So while you're walking, reflexology. All right. So we got like I say, it's man, there's so many different type of magnetic products out here. And then we got them in foam, which is real nice. Again, in the same points. Okay. Then you got the bracelets. These have 6 magnets in them, so you can walk around. Right. To get right. So, but now check, because you got to understand. Let me break this fact down to you. This is why this is key. When you look at your body, if you don't understand the fact that we are beings of energy, you have to look at your body as like a spine connected with 3 horseshoe magnets. One horseshoe, the top horseshoe magnet, negative, positive, negative, positive. Second magnet, and the third, negative, positive. So 3 horseshoe magnets. So that's why I would advise anybody who is, and keep in mind, each of these negative and positives are receptors of energy. So you're passing energy to and fro with your hands, with your feet. You're doing it with the planet. Okay? So what you want to do is, I would recommend anybody talking about physical healing or spiritual development, magnetize your feet, your hands, all right? And then for your head, all right? Magnetic head, man. All right? Now see, let me tell you this now. Before I got into all these magnetic products, I had to be at home making my own. All right? I had to be, before I even knew that anybody was selling magnetic products. You see how I got off the plantation, right? This is how I got off the plantation. Right here, magnets and his crystals. Word up. All right. So I made my magnetic helmet. I just took some, that clear tape. I had me a vest, just a vest that I made some strips, tape, and taped them together, made me a vest and taped the magnets. So I had to be walking around, crinkle, 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 and like check before, before I knew they had the magnet, they got magnetic bed pads to cover your bed, which we also have those too. You know what I used to do? I just take like a whole bunch of these and just tape them to the top of my bed. It'd be like crinkle, 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 and my wife be like, shh, you ain't making no love with you on top of these magnets. Take all this tape off the bed, crinkle, 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 crinkle. You know what I'm saying? So, I was gonna get mines. I'm gonna get mines. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. But, once I found out that they were selling magnetic products, I'm like, man, and I want to help my peoples too. All right? So, like the headband has these 2 little pads in it. They have 5 little magnets in them each, and you can just slide it in like such. All right? So, we have a various assortment. You got bad knees. You know anybody in your family got bad knees? All right? Bad ankles. Bad ankles. They use these for horses. They've been using the thoroughbred racing. They've been using the damn magnets for the damn horses. All right? All that money they got invested. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Look at these magnets. Look what I'm wearing. I got these on now. Never leave home without it. Never. Hallelujah. These are bracelets that have 2 magnetic balls in them. I feel like Santa Claus here. Mask, magnetic mask. Now you know white people buy these up like crazy. You know why? You know why? Man, get rid of them wrinkles. You know, I had a white boy up there at my job. This white boy was the ostracized white boy, but me and him began, so in essence, me and him became tight because I was the only black thing up there. And he used to say to me, he was about 5 to 10 years older than me, and he used to be joking, buddy. Look at you. Damn, boy, going on you. And he is about 40, just like he got these crow feet like this. He used to say it to me in a joking manner. No damn niggas, they envy that about you. All right? They envy it so much that they willing to take what you don't even know what you got and how to use. They taking your melanin. All right? Where you getting melatonin from? Ground up black meat. All right? But you gotta understand what time it is. Look at all the melatonin in the market. You know what melatonin is? Melatonin is everything we're dealing with now is energy science. Melatonin is dealing with energy. Ginkgo biloba is dealing with energy. It got melatonin. It got melanin in it too. All right. But like I say, we'll do electromelanin in terms of how the melanin actually applies to your body and how you can actually be doing things to increase the vibration of your different types of melanins in your body, because it's more than one type of melanin. And also we'll show you how the fabric of the universe that holds everything together is what? Melanin. Black dot, all day, night. I mean, all day and all night. So, like I say, any type of magnetic product is out there. Like I said, we got bed pads. I'm not bed pans. Bed pads. And like now. So now, what we do at home, and like I said, we got one to cover the bed. Then we have this under the pillow. Not under, but in the pillowcase, which is stimulating you. And like I say, I'm here to tell you, when I wake up, it's like I have warped from another dimension. And I'm saying when I've warped, I mean literally, because I'm to the point now where all I gotta do is do a couple of breaths and I can make the whole room, everything in the room be like woo, 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 woo. It's in a, I've gone beyond time, so to speak. You vibrate. We're fourth dimensional beings, right now. We're fourth dimensional beings. But what I'm saying is like, as what the classes are designed to do for you, it's trying to get you to be fourth dimensional all the time. So I see energy all the time. But when I wake up, it is much that woo 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 is like woo. And as time goes, when I'm up, it begins to dissipate. It starts going down the vibration, go woo, 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 till it slows down till I have to sit there and think about the energy. Then I can see it. Woo, 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 woo. But I'm talking about you wake up and you're like, woo, 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 woo. I'm telling you, when your inner body comes to life, it's a high all by itself. It's a high. Well, you're going to get headaches anyway. Because the energy hitting the planet. Let me say this right now. You all are opening up right now. And the signs you're going to get is headaches, sinus headaches in the front, headaches in the back, lower back pain, pains in here, because you're blocked. Chest pains. Right. Hawking up all that mucus. Okay? You're opening up right now. what I'm here to do is that, let me say this. That's why I advise everybody take this class. This process of opening up with the energies, it can be painful. Because you're so damn full of toxins, it's got to take a lot of work to get it out. So in holistic medicine, they say that's what you call the healing crisis. Like we learn that with the magnets and the crystals, and even with the reflexology sometimes, depending upon how toxic you are, what your diet is, you can experience a temporary state of stress. Your body will go through stress, distress, because it's like, oh, all them toxins come out. Oh, woo. Woo, good to get that shit off my chest. That shit was hanging me down low. All right? The same thing like when you use the magnets, say you got a tumor on your I met this lady, she had a big old mound on here. Cyst. That's what cyst. And it's like you use some magnetotherapy, and you put that magnet on it. Now, since that, depending on how long that's been there, that sucker might hurt a lot before it starts to shrink. All right? It's the same process of sometimes when you get sick, sometimes when you get just so sick that you get a fever, your body's trying to get the toxins out. It's a cleansing process. All right? The body already knows what to do when it's in a state of imbalance. Okay? You gotta understand this too. This is very, very key. When your energies become imbalanced, the chemicals become imbalanced. The chemicals is physical. When you have chemical imbalances, what's that? What we call that? Disease. That's what disease is. It's an imbalance, chemical imbalance. Take case in point, hypothyroidism. Now, if your thyroid gland ain't pumping out whatever enzyme is supposed to be pumping out at whatever rate, then it's a chemical imbalance. The chemical imbalance comes about because of what? And this is any and all diseases. All diseases come about because of energy imbalance. So therefore, any disease can be at least the symptoms can be lessened to a degree by applying energy. The more energy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you wear some magnets, it'll cure you like that. Bam. No. It's a scientific process that takes time. All right? It takes time. Exactly. Just like I'm not going to say, I work with people who have states of disease, and the first time around when we do a chakra alignment, that might not, depending upon what it is and how long it's been, that might not be enough. You might have to get 2 or 3 of those. Just like you go to a doctor appointment 2 or 3 times. All right? So I'm not saying talk about no faith healing, where some have it instantaneously. All right? We're talking about pure science. And once you understand how the science of how your body heals, you see it's the same science that makes the universe work. The exact same science. It ain't no different. So, in essence, once you get into the esoteric sciences, all right, the universe is based upon esoteric science. The reason they don't understand the body is because they're using what? Exoteric science. All right? Exoteric meaning outer, physical. Esoteric meaning inner. All right? Using inner light, inner vibrations. And that's how come that you can go in Africa, India, China, the Orient, South America, even Native America, and they can tell you all sorts of stuff about the cosmos, and they didn't have telescopes. It came about because of esoteric science. It was just the esoteric sciences that were left here when the planet vibration slowed down. Okay? Now, one more thing we need to talk on, and that is breathing. Breathing is very key because when you become conscious of what happens when you stop breathing? All right, dead. What happens when the body dies? But initially, what happens when the body dies? Everything stops, but why?
Because there's no air, there's no pressure,
No oxygen. But that's what I'm trying to get you to see is that the organs and things stop working, the brain stop working because what? Energy leaves. Energy's gone. Why does the energy leave? Why does the energy leave? Because the breath stopped pushing it through the body. You see that? Your breath is used to push the energy through your body. Okay? So that's how you can, using your breathing, can slow your heart down to 10, 15, 20 beats a minute. All right? What we're talking about is, and see, you got to understand this too. Now, we teach you in the classes. The classes, part of the classes is, well, let me say this. The level 1 of the class is to teach you to become conscious of your chakras. When I say become conscious of your chakras, where initially in the class, I'm gonna open up your crown chakra. I'm gonna feed energy into your crown chakra, and we're gonna open it up. And then once you get you energized, we show you how to. Because once you get energized, your hands be like, woo woo. You're feeling the woo woo woo. All right, and you teach you how to take that and do whatever to your chakras, charge them, balance them. Okay, so and then at the end of the level 1. There's a final, which in that final, I should be able to sit in front of a class, emit an energy beam out my eye. You people should be able to sit there, look at me within a matter of minute to 2, receiving that energy beam coming out my eye, open up your chakras, and you consciously can feel your chakras. It should take no more than a minute or 2. So that's the final at the end of the first level. And then the second level, what this is designed to do is to teach you to, in essence, so the first level we're talking about is teaching you to raise your kundalini. The second level is designed to show you how to keep your kundalini rose all the time. Because you got to understand, raising the kundalini is just a bare bottom basic. You ain't done nothing raising the kundalini. That's just the tool you use to apply to the esoteric sciences. So in essence, we think raising the kundalini is all this greatness. It ain't nothing. That's the bare bottom basement of the Christ science, of Christ. So that's you gotta once you learn to raise your kundalini, you gotta learn to master your kundalini. We could take lifetimes. Okay? So the second level is designed to teach you to master your kundalini, where you can feel your chakras all the time. You'll be able to feel your humming, because you like check. Like this fan has electromagnetic motor in it. If you close your eyes, you can hear it what? Well, you can hear the blades, but you'll be able to hear it humming. Everything that has an electromagnetic motor, which is most of the things, you can hear it humming. If you was to turn off all this ambient noise, you can hear those lights humming. You can hear the TV humming. You can hear everything humming. How come you don't hear yourself hum? You electromagnetic. All right? But James Brown told you turn on your funk motor. What he was telling you to do was actually open up your chakras. And your funk motor begins down here. And you can begin it, once you open up, you'll be able to feel, like now I feel that all the time. I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. It's part of my nature. You're supposed to feel your hum, your frequency. All right? This is what we're going to get you to do. At the end of the second level, you should have your kundalini rose and begin to have it rose all the time and begin to, throughout your daily life, you could just stop and think. Take you less than a second, you'll feel, you know? Then you get to the point, the more and more that happens, well, you don't have to stop and think about it. I mean, just like now, everything I do, I'm conscious of it, because when I do like this, I feel it in my feet. I feel it in my head. Because the pressure in your head, once your kundalini raises, it increases the pressure in your head. That's why you're going to get the headaches. Dormant neural network going to be opening up. All that rusty, 90% of your brain you're not using, that neural network, dead brain peoples, it's going to start to open up. And it's going to make itself known through physical, uncomfortable sensations. I'm still feeling them now. Okay? Because I'm still growing. Okay? So you're going to experience some head pains. But we teach you in the classes, there's certain breaths to do for them head pains. Teach you how to take that and minimize it. Okay? But also, let me say this. There have been, especially for the last 3 years, and especially it's getting more intense this year, where you got to understand the vibration of the planet is being accelerated. Okay? Excuse me. El Nino. All right? It's so much more than just a weather thing. If that's a whole other lecture, though. Going to the El Nino, tell you why the El Nino's kicking up right about the time, and what it's actually doing to us physically. All right? This is powerful. It's real powerful. So you got to understand that the vibration of the planet is picking up. As this happens, more energy going to be hitting the planet. And it's going to be forcing you internally from a cellular DNA level to vibrate, open up, wake up. So you're going to, in essence, so inside of you, whether you want it or not, it's going to open up. Now, if you want to ease the pain, so to speak, listen to your inner voice. That's the judgment. The judgment is, when they talk about the judgment, is whether you're going to listen or not. The inner voice, which is the creator in you. That's right. All right, that's the creator in you. All right. If you don't listen to that, then even those original peoples, those sleeping gods and goddesses, gonna burn up just like everybody else. A lot of them need to burn up. All right? They're so diseased, but then again, we can't fault them because they in hell, and you're not blamed. When you don't know, when you don't know, they can't hold it against you. So what I'm saying is, we is such a dim consciousness. We have spiritual amnesia, where we don't know nothing about who we are. We inhale, and when you inhale, A, when you inhale, you can get away with anything. B, because how you gonna judge a man if you don't know? You understand what I'm saying? And that's, if you don't know right and wrong, how can I judge you on whether you did was right or wrong? It's not possible, because the frame of reference don't fit you. You understand that? That's what they use in the courts all the time. This man was clinically insane. Therefore, he's not. He didn't know what he was doing. All right, and that's how our people are right now. That's why we're doing some of the heinous stuff we're doing now. All right, but you know, I took an oath. You all took an oath. We all took an oath when we left. So, in reality, those who rejected the knowledge, even though we have spiritual amnesia, there is no excuse. Especially when you got all these, what we call metaphysical masters, pole righteous teachers, out here now, and information is everywhere. They say in the last days, what? The knowledge will be increased. Okay? So there's no excuses now. Maybe 2-3 years ago, but now the damn planet, and I'm going to tell you something like this now, you got to understand this. A lot of people are like, what's going to happen when the Armageddon hit? A lot of people have a lot of fear. All right? But see, I have conviction knowing if the waters rose 1,000 feet in my neighborhood, my house would not get flooded. Okay? You got to understand right now, the planet, you know when a dog get out of the water and it shakes the water off like that? The planet is in the process of doing that right now. And if you are not spiritually rooted in the planet, you're going to get shaken off. Because the planet going to shake your ass off, because it's going to take off and go to the higher dimensions. This dimension, as we know it, is coming to an end. Anything that can't vibrate higher, that energy is going to be taken and get locked up, never to be let out of creation again. Okay? So, those who know who we talking about know who we talking about. Now, whatever the hell he said. Now, we have any questions? Because I'm gonna give you a couple of demonstrations.
Does the magnets help you while you're asleep project on the astral level during dreams?
Oh yeah, yeah, because you got more energy. But let me say this. Okay, Because that's you hit on something very key. And that's one thing I have mastered. I'm telling you, I'm a person that sleeps so damn deep. I gotta say, I had a Rottweiler, and she used to be in my room, I'm all, didn't hear a word. And my wife like, you didn't hear the dog barking last night? No. No. Look, and like I say, then that's why I sleep so deep. That's why when I wake up, it takes me about 30 minutes to come to full consciousness. That's why when I wake up, I can see woo, 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 so deep. And that, just by the mere fact, because I'm sleep. The deeper you sleep, the deeper you go in REM, the more restful sleep you get. Magnets, the negative energy in the magnet make your brain secrete more melatonin. Melatonin induces a deeper sleep. Okay? That's why the melatonin pills. But next time I speak, we're going to have to talk about that. But I got an article, and that's to read all these science digests. And it's stuff that they ain't telling you in the mainstream that's in the science digest. It ain't got an article. I got an article at home telling you that they say melatonin is the best antioxidant on the planet. Not only that, they say it eradicates all disease. Melatonin will eradicate all disease. But no, they say this is what they theorize just on a little information they have gathered from empirical data. Now, why not telling you this in the mainstream news? All you hear about melatonin will help you sleep. That's all they're telling you. Melatonin is the best antioxidant on the planet, which is why because it's the best antioxidant on the planet is one of the reasons why this body was made to be immortal. If you understand if everybody understand what an antioxidant is. Okay, now check. Okay, all right, now check. All right, now watch. When you breathe, you inhale oxygen. But just like those cars out there, a car runs off gas, but it don't burn 100% of the gas, does it? That percentage of the gas that does not burn, we call what? Emissions. You know, carbon monoxide, carbon monoxide, dioxide, all the rest of the oxides, whopsides, all of them. All right? The body's the same way. Because we are functioning at a much, much less efficient level than we're supposed to be, you do not assimilate all the oxygen you intake and all the carbon dioxide that you put out. What happens is the O2, like carbon dioxide is CO2. Oxygen is O2. You don't assimilate both of those oxygens. You might get one because we're so damn inefficient. The other oxygen runs around in your body. It's called a free radical. And a free radical, ding, 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 goes bouncing all around, bumping against all your tissues, causing aging and disease, wreaking havoc against all the tissues throughout your whole body. That's why your tissues degrade. Tissues degrade, and we get disease because of free radicals. Okay? Now, fruits and vegetables have antioxidants in them, which annihilate the free radicals. Or should I say, make your body be more efficient, where you can osmose that oxygen that would have ran out, bing, 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 bing. It's no longer a free radical. Okay? So, when we say melatonin is an antioxidant, that's telling you got something in your body to keep you from aging and keep you from getting disease. In your body, if you want to increase the production of that hormone in your body, naturally, you use magnets. Why? Because the pineal gland is a magnetic organ. All right? Simple science. Ain't no nothing rocket scientist about this. Okay? Now to answer the question? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, for those of us who are like myself, just still trying to get a job on the physical realm, without these physical magnets, can we still increase that reflexology through breathing and opening up that magnetic energy further?
Sure.
Practice heavy breathing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. But it's like this. Okay, the question was, without the magnets and using breathing, could we still attain the same effects from the reflexology, right? Sure. Sure, definitely. But what I'm saying is me, anything, and this, I've been like this all my life, and everything that I do, anything I do, I'm going to be the best damn whatever it is. And most black people like that. I don't care if he's sweeping the street. Brother man going to be the best damn sweet sweeper he is. If he plucking chickens in the chicken plucking plant, he going to be the best chicken plucker he can be. Anything we set our minds on. So, in terms of me, I consider myself a spiritual athlete. We're all spiritual athletes. We're all in training now. Spiritually speaking, in development. We're going to be spiritual athletes till whenever. Till we become what? Co-creators. All right? That's our goal, to become co-creators. So, therefore, me, I'm trying to accelerate this process. And I would advise anybody who want to help accelerate getting all this pain black people in off our back, accelerate the process.
I've got a question, and you may have done this already, but going to any of the vortexes with the magnet, what kind of effect do you get from that?
Oh, I think it just... No, it hasn't been studied as far as I have seen, but I would just be willing to think it just be amplified. It's tremendously amplified. You know, because you can understand what the magnet is doing is the magnet is applying. See, a magnet energy field is static. It don't move. It applies energy, pressure. It just stays there. It's applying pressure. So, if you go to like a vortex or anything like that, that energy is also going to be applying pressure, energy pressure, meaning that as your body starts osmose more than energy, your internal pressure going to build. That's why you get the pains. Okay? So if you're using magnets, I would advise, if you haven't been wearing magnets long, don't just go to no vortex and it'll knock you on your face. But if you've been wearing them, I would love to go to an energy vortex. You know? Let's see, some of the things that I do, though, is I have learned I don't have to physically go to them no more. I bring them here to me. You understand what I'm saying? Just go tap into it.
I understand. But with the magnets now being marketed, being more than they were before, and I mean, not only just us here, but I'm sure that there are going to be people that will rent the video and not conscious of where the magnet is. That's what they do every day, and going, you know, to a vortex or what have you, because I'm sure
if they're wearing them every day,
goes that more of us are going to be at least traveling to some of the vortexes, because a lot of information about those are coming out as well.
Well, no, I mean, well, let me say, and I understand what you're saying, but you know, see, I realize as more and more of us open up, we won't be traveling to the vortexes. The vortex is going to be traveling to us. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, because the more we open up, and all of us, who here tonight is not here for change? If you're not here for change, just get up and walk out. All right? Everybody's here for change. So because we're putting out this vibration of change, and the Creator's putting out the same damn vibration, is doing like this. In essence, the Creator's put out this vibration of change, but it don't mean nothing if it ain't nothing down here to be receptive to that change. All right? So, in essence, the change, let's call it the change energy field that we put out, the more our the more we get into ourselves individually, and your vibrations individually raise, the more that change energy increases. When that happens, we begin. It's hard to put it in words, but what we as a people could go here and there and do, we don't have to go there and do them. We can do them right here, because your higher bodies are activated now. You can do things on the astral plane, so to speak. Like,
I understand that.
okay, so you're.
But still, when you're in a place physically, even though you can project it or astral travel, it still is nothing the same as the root, the essence.
Of being there, you mean?
Absolutely. I mean, you can still feel it.
Okay, let me say this.
I still think
okay, now let me say that's true.
Everything else. So
that's true.
Why are we
That's true. That's true. What you're saying is true for a person that's not vibrating very high. You understand what I'm saying? The higher you vibrate, when you talk about, like case in point, if all of us was to sit here and I say now, let's energize and go to the pyramids in Giza, half of y'all would walk out here tonight saying, we didn't go down a damn block. Because you didn't feel shit. So therefore it wasn't real to you. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're vibrating less. The more you're vibrating, when you say you put your mind over it, it gets more and more real to where it gets, when you vibrate so damn high, it's just as real as being there. You understand what I'm saying? So
I have experienced that, and I understand exactly what you're saying. But
I'm missing the point there.
when people, like I said, it's not just for us, and unfortunately, some brothers and sisters may not have heard of Brother Kam Kam. So if they are to go and visit, they may be listening to, say, the Art Bell show or anything else, and they are projecting, you need to go to the vortex, you need to go to the mounds, you need to do this and that. There are people we may know, but you cannot assume that everybody may know the simple thing, because the magnets are now coming out. The athletes are wearing them. They're marketing them on TV. Whatever the athletes do, 9 times out of 10,
The sheep will do.
The sheep will follow.
Exactly.
So that was why I was asking, that particular question.
Okay, and this may follow along with what you're saying. I'm going to give you an example of something, and it may not. I read in one of my books, one of my magnet books, of how, like, if you go to many warm springs and these warm wells where they have all these curative powers, people go in there and you have arthritis and stick it in there and be like, oh, gone. All right? Like in Little Rock, Arkansas, they got them. They got them in Mexico, even some in Alabama. They even got some here in Georgia. They got them all over the place. Okay? All it is those waters lie on what they call, like the earth got chakras. Chakras are connected to your ley lines, which is like meridians in you. And any water or organic material that lies on those lines, its vibration is increased. Okay? So Magic Johnson, when he had AIDS, they said when he had HIV, he went to, I think how it's pronounced, Talico, somewhere in Mexico, where they got, people being healing with this water. And Magic went down there and got plastic jugs, 152 gallons, 152 plastic jugs on his private jet, got that water and took it home. Now, what if I told Magic, I said, Magic, that same water you got from there, I got it in my house. Yeah, I drink it every day. No, I know how to, because I understand what that water is, I can duplicate it in my house. I drink magnetized water at home. And then when you start adding the trace minerals and minerals, which is very key, very, very key, being melanin dominant people. So I do get that same, and see what happens is the magnet, like I got this book from this brother. He's a dentist in Arkansas, and he went and he studied that water in Arkansas, Little Rock, and what happened was I guess he said he just started drinking the water. And he lost, he said, he without changing his diet, he lost like 50 or 60 pounds. So then he said, wow, and it opened him up. So then Spirit told him where to go in the library to find all these studies that have been done 60, 70, 80 years ago that the Americans did on this water. And they got all this information on this water, talking about that water is alchemy. Transmutation from lead to gold. That water will do it. It said basically what the water is like all the minerals and trace minerals in the water were radioactive. Meaning they're vibrating faster. That's all. The calcium is now radioactive calcium. It's vibrating faster. Same thing with all the other minerals in the water. So in essence, by him drinking this water, the water is speeding up our vibrations, the vibrations of our cells. So it's a cellular thing. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I say, Magic, like I'm saying, Magic went down there to get the water. He could have done the same thing right at the house. As a matter of fact, all that water he got, when he brought, just because he had it in a plastic container, he zapped the energy out of it. So within 2 days, even if he refrigerated it, which slows the process down, it lost all its juice. All right. So it's real key. The science we'll be talking about, because this is the science of the way the universe works. If you understand how the universe works, you can, you ain't sweating nothing. If you need this or you need that, you know how to put your energy on it into the universe and make it manifest, not praying that it manifests. I'm talking about making it manifest. You're a damn co-creator. All right? So, any more questions?
When you start receiving all this energy, what do you to access from that energy? I mean, through self-mastery, whatever it may be, whatever
Development?
issues you have with yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
How are you to master some of these problems you may have internally that you need to deal with when receiving this energy? You see what I'm saying?
Well, see, okay, that's what the chakras are for. Each chakra, in terms of physiologically, psychologically speaking, different aspects of yourself relate to different chakras. So that's why it's key to take the class to learn your chakras. When I say learn your chakras in terms of psychological and physiological aspect, when I say psychological, in terms of, like, case in point, now I can end my day, I can sit back and start with the most recent moment, go through that day, and look and say, damn, I did this, and I felt this, and I was manifesting this, so therefore, these chakras need working on. All right? Just judging by my actions. And also as your chakras open up, it allows you to, you know how you got to go to therapy to get counseling to help heal? You can do that for yourself. Because the more your vibration raises, the more you can say, like, this is you. I'm over here looking at myself. The more you vibrate, the more distance you can put. So,
brother asking the question means that his chakra, he's vibrating. Just.
Oh, you say how to begin to deal with the issues?
And just solving problems with issues that you have with yourself, you need to master. Those kinds of things, whatever.
Just.
Because of that question.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Just the fact that you said that, you've already halfway there. All right. So now all you need to do is start what? Listening. That's all. And when I say listen, like I said, they used to tell us it was crazy, but you don't have dialogue. You have dialogue with yourself without moving your lips. All right. And you is your spirit. And you get to the point. I used to, man, when I first started getting into this stuff, man, I used to do things I didn't even want to go in and meditate. Because when I know when I get in there, I'm going to get tongue lashed. My spirit going to be like, damn it. We've been through that. Chastising you worse than your damn parents. All right? So, just start listening. That's all. I mean, as you begin to listen, you hear. And as you learn to relax, because this is very key, as you begin to relax, what you will find out what happens is when you begin to sense tension in different muscle groups in your body, as you sense that tension, you're like, damn, there's tension there. Right when that tension goes down, you'll be like, man, a thought comes to your mind. And you sit there and you be like, and now this is why I used to be like, damn, why am I thinking that? I'm supposed to be thinking about the tension in here. That thought that you had was what came from that tension. So you need to sit there and listen and dwell and let it flow. Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out. We've been so used to, this right here makes me hurt when I think about it. It hurts. Not dealing with the issues. So like I say, you've already begun the process when you ask that question. You've already begun. Any more questions?
What is the difference between energy and spirit? Is there energy and spirit?
Okay, now, as far as I'm concerned, and this is not what, came from the realm of me, because you really not going to find this in no book. Energy, or should I say spirit, is energy manifested into consciousness. You understand that? In essence, the Creator, okay, first of all, even before the Creator, you got to have nothing before you can have something. Right? So, that nothing, in terms of energy, is the negative. The Creator, which is all manifested, all creation, is positive. Negative and positive. So in essence, the source of the creator himself is magnetic in nature, negative and positive. All right. So so in essence, what we're talking about is the creator is all of creation. When we talk about magnetism, we just get on going back to the source. Okay, that answer the question?
Well, how imperative is it that we, like our diet, we eat right? I mean, because we can't just, or can we transcend?
Very important question.
You know what I'm saying? Just transcend to tapping into our chakras, etc., but we're not dieting properly. I mean, how imperative?
Okay, now see, it's almost like a catch-22. That's why you got me here. See, like now this is some real science now. Listen to me. To get to where I'm at now, I had to diet. I have had thousands of hours of meditation, meditating 5 and 6 hours a day. And I spent a whole lot of self-study. Okay? And very strict diet. Very strict diet. But, so this is, to open yourself up, diet is very key. Very, very key, because you are what you eat. The quality of your melanin is equated to what you eat, plus your thoughts. Okay? So, diet is very key. Very key. But all the sacrifice that in essence, what I'm trying to say is like, what it took me, at this point where I'm at, it took me 3 years to get to, you can get in 3 months. Because A, the vibration of the planet is much quicker now than when I was doing it. B, we're going through a quickening. And C, that's what it's time for it now. In essence, if we want to, in essence, this question is being posed to me. You don't think you open somebody up too quick? But if the time wasn't right, they would open. Why would the Creator at this point in time have me where I can do these things, and it wasn't the time? So it's more than the time. It's the overdue. That's what it is. Overdue. So once you open your chakras up and you're vibrating on higher vibrations, not what we're talking about now. When you vibrate on higher vibrations, it don't matter what you eat, because it's all mental. When you understand the ascension process, you understand that the resurrection is first mental. You have to mentally believe you can be resurrected, in the physical body. That's when I was telling that conversation I had with that one guy. He ain't gonna get resurrected. He's not gonna see it physically because he's still doubting whether he can do it in the physical. Okay, the resurrection is first mental. So as your vibration increases, less and less of that stuff will affect you because your chakras will be detoxifying much faster now. But at the same time, if you don't keep with it, then that stuff will start to slow you down and stuff. Like case in point, at one point in time, I gave up the mucus foods. All right, but now because I have so much energy, I have to do something. I have to use diet now. For me, because I have so much energy, I have to use diet to ground me. You understand what I'm trying to say? In essence, if I'm eating a real restrictive diet, I'll be spacey as hell. I can't be around nobody because they vibrate. If you're not vibrating on the same frequency as me, I don't want to be around you. I used to be like that because I wasn't grounded. I wanted to get that's why I ended up spending all this money on these crystals and all this stuff, because I wanted to get the hell out of third dimension so damn bad. I felt so damn locked down in third dimension that I'm like, damn, I get a paycheck, shit, I spend this $1,000 on magnets. Just go, that's how I was. Just bam, bam, 1,000 here, bam, 1,000 there. I'm getting out of here, So it's real key in understanding, though, while you are raising up. Diet is very important. But after a certain point, and just, you have to understand this, like novice students, people just getting into the science, need to be watching what you eat. Especially with all this crap floating out through the food system. All right? And definitely with all this stuff floating through the food system. You better watch what you eat if you believe it'll hurt you. All right? No shit hurt me. You understand what I'm saying? I can't die of AIDS. Why? Because I don't believe I could die of AIDS. That's why AIDS kills you. So it's all mental. Before you can be conceived, before you can achieve it, you have to conceive it. All right? So diet is very key. Very key. You are what you eat. Especially when you're trying to open up and get to your God self. All right? Any more questions? Okay, now, I'm going to do 1, 2 things here. The first thing is, I'm going to do a demonstration with the Ankh. And just put up an energy field and get a couple people just to stand there in an energy field and let them experience it and tell you about it. Then we're going to do a meditation. We're going to actually fire up the crystals and sit around, breathe, osmose the energy, and get energized. Literally, get energized. Okay. So first of all, let me clear off this table. Or how I want to do this. Let me move this table down. Out there.
Are people manufacturers of the magnets?
Black people?
I hope so. You should have been, brother. You do not. Yeah.
But you gotta understand, I don't have the resources. I don't have the resources.
They should have been.
You know, not only that. Not only that, let me ask you this. Has anybody ever heard of, yeah, swing, just swing this around this way. Turn you go that way, yeah. Has anybody ever heard of a magnet mine? Has anybody ever heard of a magnet mine? Where you can go, where they go and get magnets? The ore? Yeah, mine. Anybody ever heard of it? We hear diamond mines. You heard it? Okay. Now the reason I ask you that is because who's heard of diamond mine? Who's heard of gold mine? Now, what I'm trying to get you to see is that they don't want you to know nothing about these magnet mines. Because you could go there and boom, you think you're walking in a pyramid and get opened up. Just imagine going to, you throw tons and tons and tons of magnetism. They want to keep you away from that. So, to answer your question, they probably wouldn't let me do something like that. But now, let me also say this because, who was that told me that? It was Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was down here a couple weeks ago when we saw the crystal. Dick was saying to me, Dick was real knowledgeable on the magnets. I was in shock when he came in here. Dick was magnet daddy, and he had his little crystals, skull and bones crystal, So I'm like, yeah, Dick, Dick way up there in age, and I was really. Wow, Flora said, telling me, it's time. When you got the older generation jumping on this bandwagon. Been in subterfuge twice as long as me, and he gravitating to this. All right? So, he was saying like this crystal right here. He said they don't let common people have things like this. They don't want you having stuff like this. That's why when the guy got this from, he said the only place that he could have got this from was a museum. A museum. They don't want you to have this type of stuff. Yeah, they make sure and when you do go to the crystal mine, they get all the good big stuff out first, and you go in there. If you're lucky, you might get something this big. Leave you to jump. All right. All right. Let me. All right, who's first? Okay. Okay, come on here. Come on over here. Now, what I want you to stand. Yeah, turn this way. Face me this way. Yeah, just close your eyes. Can you feel those pulsations? Can you feel that in your back? Or is it just in your front? Okay, now open up your eyes. What does it feel like when I do that? You sense that? You sit down, girl. And you see the vibrance, when the intensity increases, it's kind of even hard. The energy is so strong, it becomes even hard to even control your own damn muscles.
Felt this arm up here, it's like pulsating, it's like when he pulling my hairs, you know, and then it's like spiraling in my face, going into a vortex of, I think I went from one chakra to the other.
Can you hear her?
It was like I was spinning into a vortex, and all the different colors of the chakra was coming before me, and it was just a pinpoint eye opening that kept coming open. And then at that point I started feeling pulsation in this arm, and I could feel the blood running through my veins. And I was saying, what is going on? And when I tried to come back, it was like something kept coming on this side. The purple and the blue kept coming in.
Did it wop, 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 wop.
Vibration, you know.
Okay.
It's like when they imploded the stadium, I was looking out the window at the hospital, looking out the window. And I asked anybody else, did they feel that? And no, we didn't feel nothing. And it's like when they blew it up, I just felt the vibration, and I was doing this, and I could actually hear the implosion, even though we were miles away. But only one other person said they felt it. I said, what's going on then? You know? But I've been working with the magnets for like 2 years now, so I guess I'm not a good candidate.
Is we got somebody here who doesn't meditate much, or? Okay. Now let me also say this, in terms of the degree of energy that you feel is relative to the degree that you into yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like those just beginning to get into themselves may not feel as much as people who've been in themselves for 2 or 3 years. Okay? Now just close your eyes. Relax. ahead and open your eyes. Okay, you feel it when I do that? The energy? What do you sense? Do you have any sensations? Your head? Your hand?
It's real high on my back. So it's high. And I saw a blue light here, a yellow light here.
Okay, tell them.
My hand, I can feel my hand like tight enough, or feel like a vibration through my hand. I can feel like now I can feel a hot sensation around my back, around this area, and I felt like heat. It just felt like heat, like real hot. It was really warm, and I saw like a blue light. It was I wouldn't say a brilliant blue, but like a dark type of blue light. Blue light on this side, light orange, real circle, yellowish circle, floating on this side.
Let me say something else. Observing, we can see your
You see the energy? Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like I was moving.
Yeah, I see. That was the question I wanted to ask you. Yeah, okay. Cause see, what I wanted to ask you is you know what's making them rock back and forth? Breathing, my breath. So I'm pulling. All right.
So ironic, we're on crystals, and there's a movie on the Disney Channel coming out called The Dark Crystal.
That time.
I think 9 o'clock.
Tonight?
It comes on one of those cable channels.
Damn.
The Dark Crystal.
All right, now, you got to understand this. I'm not doing nothing nobody else here can't do. All right? I ain't got nothing that you ain't got. The only difference between me and you is knowledge, level of consciousness. The more you know about your chakras, the more powerful your chakras are. Okay? So now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna break the chairs down. And I got one more demonstration where I'm going to show you how daily, how easy it is we transmit energy back and forth instantaneously like that, 1,000 times a day. All right. So now let's put them in a circle. Yeah, you know, I'm standing there and because I couldn't see you swinging, I started to get worried. Yeah, you already open. So this just makes it that much easier for me. Say what? Who? Hers? That's what I'm trying to do now. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to get some blocks so I can increase them. That's why I started growing it back. Yeah. This is the first time I've been wearing hair in what? 7 years, 8 years? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, check this out. Just to show you about your hair. You know, I was, as a matter of fact, it was the same brother who hit me to the foot reflexology. I saw the brother the other night. And like this is the first time I've been wearing my hair since 90. I've been bald all this time. And you know, he works for energies, and you know what he saw? He's like, man, you know, since you're wearing your hair, your how did he put it? He said your aura, because I guess he said before, what he used to see from me is he could just see energies, wing, 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 just float. Yeah, but he could see the energy actually leaving me. He said when he saw me last week and he saw the hair on my head, he's saying that now he could see the energy's not leaving anymore. That it's like it's insulating my head, and my aura is more fuller now. He could tell the aura is much more fuller because of the hair. You mean? Well, yeah, you know, because you know the waters are conductors of energy, right? Let me get a little split in there so I can. Pardon? Okay. Let me a little bit, please. Excuse me. Okay, just set it down. Yes, please. Now what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how it's so easy for us to transmit energy from one of us to another. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into some, what I like to call light body activation, meaning your inner body. What we're going to do is begin to circulate some energy. We're going to start with what I call the first breath, the first basic breathing exercise. And then once you get charged up, we'll start with the basic breathing, and then we're going to do what's called, with everybody keeping their eyes closed while all this is going on, I'm going to start directing the energies. But see, once we all breathe and meditate, or just sit there and breathe together, in essence, we open up a vortex here. And what we'll do is, to make the energy start work for us, we're going to go and spend maybe, because I'm not sure how many people here have meditated or not, we'll do like a couple minutes on each chakra, all right? And whereas we're all, as a group, putting our thoughts in that particular chakra simultaneously, which makes the whole effect for each individual much, much more powerful. Much more powerful. So these are some things we're going to be doing. Do it like that. All right, I need to consecrate the circle. Okay. See, now by taking it clockwise, then counterclockwise, we take these crystals, by energizing them like this, we've literally opened up a vortex here, energy vortex. Same size of the El Nino. One time, back around. Now, some people, you know what? Because once you chime these crystals like that, they immediately become energized. And some people can sense, like I can sense once they become energized like that. Anybody feel any sensation of pressure in your head or anything like that? Okay, excuse me. Now, where's the, now, just want to show you all something right quick before we go into the meditation deal. This right here is what's called a piezoelectric stimulator. And it has a, okay, you know, the piezoelectric crystals that all your TVs, all your electronics, all these electrical convenient appliances have a piezoelectric crystal in them, all your computers. What this stimulator does is it takes, it's a hammer on it, where you snap the hammer. It takes the hammer and it rams the crystal. And the crystal sends out a vibration. Okay? Now, what I want everybody to do is to the person next to you, touch finger to finger like this. Or should I say, you can touch, overlap them. I mean, if it's easier to do it like this. Oh, I got this. Is everybody connected? All right. Now you see how easy we transmit energies every day? Instantaneously. We all felt that at the same time. Which tells you the energy is moving faster than your mind can think. Okay? All right. Now, see what we do with this? This is like the meridian points. The meridian points. You know how all of your the reflexology points are connected to meridians. You can take this, and once you know where the meridians are, like say if this brother had a headache, I could just this meridian right in here, bam, 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 bam. Get all the meridians in the head.
That brother who was doing those shock techniques a few months ago at the health fair, CAU, all over.
He was hitting all your points.
And I felt my third eye open a few months after that.
Oh, he did? He'd open up after that? Yeah, you were blocked up. And he just bam, 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 bam. But see, I'm gonna show you after tonight, you'll be able to open yourself up. Then once you get yourself, let me say this, you're already open. You're already open. Everybody's open. But now we should try to become more conscious of this opening. The more conscious we are of this opening, the more powerful it is. Because I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing when you step into the Christ kingdom. Woo! Lower me down. All right, now we're going to show you the first breath. The first breath is just a basic breathing technique, and you're going to understand the breathing. And actually, it's 3 parts of your breathing system. The first part is called a hara, and it's down here in the lower abdomen area. Right? Now, when you was in the womb, where do you get your oxygen from? Umbilical cord. All right? So that's your true breathing apparatus down here. You have to learn to breathe from your lungs. Okay? The second part of the breathing apparatus is the lower rib cage. Okay? The upper part, the third part, is the upper chest portion of the respiratory system. Okay? Now, the whole point about breathing is that now when we breathe, 9 times out of 10, the way we are today, we don't even use this portion. We just breathe it from here. Oh, not there. Oh, stagnant ass there. Now check. This first breath is designed to teach you to breathe from the hara. It's actually opening up these centers down here. And what you do is when you inhale, when you inhale, you want to suck in your gut. I said, okay, that's the second breath. What the first breath is designed is to teach you to breathe from here, strengthen this area, and as you become proficient with that, naturally, as this begins to get full of energy, it begins to, so when you inhale, you inhale with your gut out. But see, what I'm trying to do is train those who don't know how to breathe. The best way to train you is to start with the basic breath, and then the second breath, like she mentioned, comes later. And as you become more proficient with the first breath, the second breath won't come naturally, because you're going to find it's hard to do the first breath. So it's natural. So we inhale, suck it in the gut. Inhale, hold. Exhale, relax. Okay? Now, we do the breathing in the 4 stages. A 4 count. We're going to do a 4 count. Inhale, a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold. 4 count. Exhale. Exhale, 4 count. Exhale, hold. 4 count. Begin again. Inhale, 4 count. Inhale, hold. 4 count. Exhale, 4 count. Exhale, hold. 4 count. Now, we're just using the 4 count. Some might find it easier. That's just a basic breathing rhythm, but you'll find your own rhythm. Some people might like a 6-4-6. You want to build power? You start doing 7-7-7. You know, I'm going up to 10-10-10. But then by that time you're doing 10-10-10, you're not seeing things like you're seeing them like this. These higher breaths are to teach you, in essence, to shoot your consciousness into the 4th dimension. All right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 minutes of individual, just basic breathing. Okay? So let's everybody close their eyes. Let me say this. Everybody put your fingers in what's called the first mudra. Okay? Put your hands on top of your thighs and relax. And the whole thing is you just want to be concentrated on your breathing. Concentrate on your breathing. Just concentrate on the inhale. Concentrate on the exhale. So now I want everybody to be in the same rhythmatic sync. So everybody close your eyes and begin on my count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Proceed.